boys and girls. This is Miss Christie. Oh, and this is Bruno. As soon as I started talking, he came right over. So hopefully he's just going to lay down and he won't bother us. Oh, here comes Layla. Here's Layla. There's Layla. Oh, she's brought a sock. You know how she always brings a treat. Okay, so hopefully they'll just chill here with us while we do our homework. So this is HomeLink 5-8, mixed number subtraction. So this is just like what we did today in class. So the directions say, solve the number stories, use a different strategy for each one. Okay, oh whoops, I'll move that arrow thingy because that's kind of in the way. Excuse me. All right, number 1. The chocolate chip cake recipe calls for 3 1/3 cups of milk. We only have 1 2/3 cups at home. How much more? Oh, there's Layla with her sock. It's actually Charlie's sock. Charlie, Layla, give me the sock. Give me the sock. Give me the sock. Ah, go get it. Okay. How much more milk do we need? Okay, so what's the whole? So what are we measuring? What unit are we using? Cups. We're measuring cups. So our whole is going to be 1 cup. That will be our whole. Okay. Number model with unknown. No, guys, give me the sock. No, I need the sock. You can't chew this one up. This is a good one, actually. So you can't have that one. Okay. So the number model with the unknown is going to be 3 1/3 cups of milk minus 1 2/3 cups of milk equals C. We'll just use C for a variable. C for cup. Okay, so here's one way to solve a mixed number subtraction problem. So 3 wholes, 3, here's 1, here's 2, and here's 3, and then 1/3. So I'm going to make a hole and I'm going to cut it into thirds, and I'm just going to shade 1. Okay, so that's 3 1/3. So we're going to subtract 1 2/3. Okay, so I'm going to use a different color to show what we're taking away. So this is 1/3 of the 2/3 that we need to subtract. So I'm going to take that away. But I have to take another third away. And look, these are all wholes. So I'm going to take this whole, I'm going to cut it into thirds, and then I'm going to take this one away. So that is how I took my 2/3 away. And then I have to take a whole away, a whole for the 1. So look, what does that leave me? Well, I have 1 whole left, so that's going to leave me 1. And look, I have 2/3 of this whole left. So the answer is 1 2/3 cups. And we can check our answer by adding back to see if we're right. 1 2/3 plus 1 2/3 equals 2 4/3. And 4/3 is an improper fraction. So that equals, oh, whoops, I'm going off the page again. Sorry, guys. 3 1/3, which is what we started with. There's Bruno again. Okay, so that's that strategy. And our answer is 1 2/3. All right, let's try number 2. So number 2 says, Lourdes is listening to an audiobook that is 9 hours long. She has listened for 6 1/6 hours so far. How many hours of listening time are left? Okay, so we're going to fill in the whole box first. So what are we measuring? Well, we're counting hours. So the whole is going to be 1 hour. Okay, our number model with unknown is going to be 9 minus 6 1/6 equals, we'll say equals H. H for hour. Okay, so this time I'm just going to do it using numbers. So I'm going to write it vertically like we did today. So 9 minus 6 1/6. Okay, well, first we're going to start with the fractions. 0, because there's nothing here, minus 1/6. So we can't do that. So we need to borrow. We are going to borrow a whole from the 9, leaving us with 8 wholes. But we're going to take that whole and we're going to cut it into 6 pieces because 6 is what we're working with. So it's going to be 6, 6. So 8 and 6, 6, which is equal to 9. So we haven't changed the value at all. So 6, 6 minus 1/6 equals 5, 6. And then 8 minus 6 is 2. So our answer is 2 5/6 hours. Okay, so now we're going to do these problems here, the bottom. Okay, subtract, show your work. So 4 1/2 minus 3 1/2. Well, 1/2 minus 1/2, so that gets rid of our fraction. And 4 minus 3 is 1. So the answer to that is 1. That was pretty easy. Okay, number 4, 5 8/12 minus 5 3/12. So 8/12 minus 3/12. 8 minus 3 is 5/12. 5 minus 5 is 0. So our answer is just 5/12. Number 5, 4 2/5 minus 1 4/5. Okay, so we can't subtract 4/5 from 2/5. So again, we need to borrow 1 from our whole. So we're going to change the 4 to a 3. Our denominator is 5, so it's 5/5. So it's going to be 5/5 that we're adding to the 2/5. So that's going to leave us 5 plus 2 is 7. So that's 7/5. So 7 minus 4 is 3/5. 3 minus 1 is 2. So the answer to that one is 2 3/5. And number 6 is 9 4/10 minus 3 8/10. So again, we can't take 8 away from 4, so we have to borrow a whole from the 9, leaving us with 8. And it's 10/10, because we have to cut the whole into tenths, because that's our denominator. So that's going to make this 14/10, because 10 plus 4 is 14. 14 minus 8 is 6. 6/10. 8 minus 3 is 5. 5 6/10. And you may notice that 6/10, we can simplify that. 6/10, they're both divisible by 2. So that's actually going to be 3/5. So it's 5 3/5. That's our final answer. Okay, now we're going to practice some multiplication. Okay, so these first two here are pretty simple. They're multiplying by 10 and 100. And we know an easy way to do that. When you multiply a number by 10, you just add the 0. So 54 times 10, that's just going to be 540. And 63 times 100, that's 2 zeros. So you just add the 2 zeros on the end, so that's going to be 6,300. So then these two down here, they're a little more complicated. So 86 times 94 I'm going to use lattice to show you that one, but you can use whatever strategy you want. Not a calculator though. 86 times 94. So 9 times 6 is 54. Don't forget to use your multiplication chart if you have it. 4 times 6 is 24. 9 times 8 is 72. And 4 times 8 is 32. And then we add 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 4, 5, and 5 is 10. Put down the 0, carry the 1, and 7 plus 1 is 8. So we have 8,084. Okay, and this one, 5,715 times 6. I'm just going to use the US traditional algorithm for this one. 6 times 5 is 30, so I put down the 0, carry the 3. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. 6 times 7 is 42, put down the 2, carry the 4. 6 times 5 is 30, excuse me, plus 4 is 34. So that's going to be 34,290. Okay. Oops. All right, and that's it. So I hope you all have a wonderful night, and I will see you tomorrow.